Somebody in this camp ain't what he appears to be. Right now, that may be one or two of us. By spring, it could be all of us.
So how do we know who's human?
You know, I'd been in, wonderful productions with great production values, but this was something else.
If I was an imitation, a perfect imitation, how would you know if it was really me?
The Thing was my first movie, and I read with a lot of New York guys. It was really quite great fun, you know. And my girlfriend at the time, she got the phone call. I hadn't heard from him, and I was, So we were sitting in Phoebe's, which was a bar on 4th Street in the Bowery, right up from La Mama, where I'd worked a lot. And she came in and she said, "Well, honey, I'm afraid that you're not going to be able to go to Connecticut." And I'm like, "Oh, God, what else can go wrong? Why not?" She said, "Because you got the movie." And I was like, "What? You got, oh, are you kidding me?" And so my agent had talked to her first. And I was so happy. I said, "Buy everybody a drink." Well, just one drink for everybody, you know.
You believe any of this voodoo bullshit, Blair?
Charles was like this strong, silent type, didn't talk a whole lot. It was more like a man of action. So there was a lot of times when I would, you're in the room observing, just watching other people's behavior. So it was kind of perfect that I'm sitting around as the other actors were interacting. And this particular actor, we were sitting in the producer's office, and to, simulate the fight, he threw all the stuff off the producer's desk, and I was so captivated by this behavior and watching the actors act. And it was exciting because, they were good actors. There came a moment, a lull in the action. And, everybody's looking around for who's got to speak next, including myself. And I'm like, and then I look at the script and it's, "Oh, it's me. Oh, hell no," Our version was closer to that original story, which is, more about the sort of paranoia that seeps through the crew because you don't know who is who and what's what. And I thought John captured that brilliantly.
Hey, fuck you, Palmer! I'm going with you!
Who says I want you going with me?
All right, cut the bullshit!
I was worried because the course that I teach, that I was studying for, was Good American Speech for the Theater. And, Childs was a, regular working stiff kind of guy.
Now how's this motherfucker wake up after thousands of years in the ice?
I was so afraid that, with my lines, I was going to say, "Motherfucker," instead of... The day before the first day of shooting, I had a car accident, and I broke these 2 bones, kind of totaled my car, and I didn't go to the hospital right away. My hand swelled up like a boxing glove. You'll notice that at least for the first half of the movie, you never see my left hand. It's always hidden under something, under a table or behind something, or you don't see it. I was one of 3 black men in this town. A lot of drinking going on. I remember being in a bar one night, and I counted 58 men to every woman in the place. It was, and it was like, it even looked like one of those old mountain movies where you see the guys with beards and shit, and the plaid, red plaid hats, and everybody's looking at you, when you come in. It was kind of like, okay, got very drunk that night. There was no great racial incidents. There was one guy who was shook my hand, was like, "I like the way you people dance. My nephew's like you people," and I'm like, as long as he doesn't use any of those words, I'll be you people all night. That's okay.
You the only one who made it?
Not the only one.
Did you kill it?
Where were you, Charles?
I know we both had time for the thing to consume us, but at the end, like he says, "Well, if it's either one of us, We'll just have to see. I've heard that for whatever reason, my proximity to the fire precluded any smoke coming out of my mouth, you know, from the cold. So that, I mean, I've heard that. I've yet to see it again and watch it just to see if that's true.
What do we do?
Why don't we just wait here for a little while? See what happens.
Did you think you were?
No, I didn't think I was. The only review that I that really stands out in my mind was, oh, it's not something you can take your kids to. It's too gory. It's too, it's like, well, then don't take your kids. I mean, well, how stupid is that? And I remember thinking to myself, I think I did a good job. I loved the movie. I think the movie was great. Maybe I'm gonna have a life in the movies. I hope. I didn't work in the movies again for 4 years. I always loved this movie and always thought that it deserved a better shot than it got initially. Now, consequently, that has been proven true. It's always a wonderful thing when somebody walks up to me and says, man, The Thing was one of my favorite movies. Oh, my father and I watched The Thing all the time. I mean, at the same time, you don't work for applause. You don't do it for, that kind of accolade. But it is deeply moving when somebody tells you that somebody acknowledges your work and tells you that it made a difference in their life.